Yo, everyone. Oh, backwards. So, I had this idea. I've been working on this class for a long time, but a little bit of history. Well, first of all, it's Blood Mage. It's a Blood Mage class for D&D 5th edition. I've been working on it for a while, on and off for a while, I guess I should say. The last time I worked on it was 4.5 years ago, so I haven't touched it in a long time. But since one D&D is coming out in like 2 years, I figured this class will be obsolete. Maybe someone out there is interested in running a class like this. Maybe someone already made a class like this. Either way, I'm going to release all the resources I have for creating it, but I'm going to quickly give you a rundown of why I created this class, what I think this class excels at, and what I think makes this class unique. Number one, the history. Back in the day when I was a kid, I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, and there's a bloodbender in that show. Well, if you haven't seen that show, essentially what that is someone can people can control water. There's like water benders. They like bend water, shoot water around everywhere. Well, this one old lady found out that water is inside of blood, and she can use that to make their blood move. She can literally bend people, make them like puppets, and move them using their blood. She can do this, and she can do this very well on full moons, because full moon is like when waterbenders are at the peak of their casting ability or their bending abilities. And so she like leads these people into a cave or something like that. Either way, if you haven't seen it, go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show. It's really good. Anyway, ever since I saw that, I have been like stuck. Bloodbending is cool. I can't wait to do something that has bloodbending in it. And there's never been anything with bloodbending in it. And then I played League of Legends, like back in 2010 or 11 or something like that. And I played as Vladimir. And Vladimir he's like a bloodbender, dude, but he doesn't bend people, but he uses his own blood as like a weapon. So he, like, when he wants to cast a spell, he uses some of his health points, and then the spell goes off. And all of his spells are like blood, like a pool of blood appears on the ground, or he like goes into the ground and does some crazy stuff. And it's all blood. And once again, I'm like, man, this guy's cool. He's a vampire as well. And then I watched like Dead Man Wonderland on Toonami. And Toonami is a dead channel. Long live Toonami. But Dead Man Wonderland, what a cool anime. They use blood. They use blood and like do stuff with blood. It's so cool. And so I've just had this like thought of, I don't know why it's so cool, but blood magic in general is cool. It's just cool. Carnage from Marvel Universe uses blood in symbiote mixed. And I'm sure there's a million other references out there of people using blood. Even Matt Mercer. If you don't know who Matt Mercer is, he's a big D&D guy. He Critical Role, Critical Role guy. He created like a blood magic class or something. I forgot what he called it. Blood Wizard or Blood School or something. It's some subclass of some other class, and it uses blood, and it's pretty cool. But it wasn't cool enough. I wanted it to be cooler. I wanted more blood. So I thought Blood Mage is its own thing. Blood Mage is its own class, a brand new class, homebrew class I created. And it's probably broken. It's the first time I ever tried to do this. But I was telling my friend about it, who plays in my game, and I was saying, hey, I think it'd be so cool if there was blood mages. And he's like, that would be so cool. And I was explaining to him like that my ideas for the class, and I had been working on it like in my head for a while. And this was a few years ago. So he goes, can you make that class? Can I play that class? Because I homebrew a few things in my game, and I'm always up for experimentation. So I said to him, yes, if I spend time creating this class and I write it into the story where you could possibly learn this, will you choose this to start classing in blood magic? And at the time, he was playing a ranger, and it was back before Tasha's Cauldron of Everything came out. And so rangers were not great. They were pretty bad. And so he's like, yeah, 100%, I would love to play a blood mage. And so he multi-classes into blood mage, and I start working on the class. And the caveat was, it might be broken. We might need to change some stuff, but I hope you love it. I hope it's cool. And so I start writing this class. I start writing this blood mage class, and we start working on it and we're playing it and it's going well. He loves it. He thinks it's fun. He thinks it's cool. And a lot of people at the table thought, oh yeah, that's cool. It doesn't seem that broken. When it was too broken, where it was like bad for him, I buffed some of the stuff. When it was too broken, where it was too good for him, I take some of the stuff down, which did happen. He was upset about, but it made it more balanced. Now, it's not perfectly balanced, and it's only been written up to a few levels, like maybe 5th or 6th level. But I mean, honestly, what games go beyond 5th or 6th level anyway? So I wanted to share my Blood Mage class with you. A couple of the things that I think are kind of cool that are standout is that Blood Mages do not just have spell slots. They have infinite casting. They can cast as many spells as they want, I think. I think I'm remembering that correctly. Let me just double check and look at my document. I have my document pulled up on a different tab. But I'm probably not going to edit this out. So something interesting about me while you wait as this loads is that I have a dog named Akamaru. Here he is. He's fluffy. He needs a haircut right now. But it's winter, so I don't want him to be cold. And he's really cool. Akamaru's a really cool dog. Akamaru, shout out to Akamaru from Naruto. That's where I got the name. All right, so here's how it works. With blood magic, you have a 1d12 hit die, so you have a lot of health. Overpowered health for when it comes to spellcasters. But when you cast a spell, so say you cast a first level spell. At first level, you know 4 level 1 spells, and you have 4 cantrips. So I think it's similar to sorcerers. Whenever you cast a first level spell, it's going to cost you 5 health points. That's correct. 5 health points. You have a d12 die. So at first level, you have 12 health points plus your constitution modifier. Ideally, you put everything into your constitution modifier because it's your spell casting level. It's what you use to spellcast, since constitution is what blood magic would use. So you can just buff constitution. You're going to put your biggest number in constitution. So ideally, you have a +3 or +4 in constitution, +5 if you rolled amazing stats or you allow roll stats. We're going to just go ahead and say +4 because you get lucky. You're probably going to pick something like, I don't know, human. You're going to get a +1 to your constitution, or whatever class, would get a plus constitution. So you're probably going to have an 18 or something. You're going to have a +4 constitution modifier. So we're going to say that you have 16 health points. You can cast 3 spells. 4, but you can only cast 3 at first level. And that's going to bring you down. And that's not if you don't take damage. If you take even a single point of damage, you're dropping yourself down to 0, which is the crazy part, because it's high risk, high reward. You can keep on casting. And if you get heals, you can just keep on casting. You drink potions and you can keep on casting. And you might think, hey, that's super broken. But at the same time, at any moment, you could spend so much health casting a high level one of your spells, and you're losing health. You don't even know if you're going to take damage on the next turn. So that's pretty cool, I think. All of your spells that are healing spells they don't heal normal health points. They heal special temporary hit points. This is a new thing that I created. Basically, just draw a line down your temporary hit points chart, and one side is normal, just as the book does, and one side is special temporary hit points. The only difference is special temporary hit points do stack, but they can only be gained by blood magic. It's like other blood transfused into your body allows you to keep on living. It's consumed first by taking damage, but temporary hit points cannot be used to cast spells. You can only use your normal hit points to cast spells. And that's kind of one of the other unique things about blood magic. But I mean, when you get higher levels, I said, I tested up to technically we tested up to, I think, 15th level. So you're by 15th level, you got 7th level, 6th or 7th level spell slots. Each of those spells are costing you 130 to 150 health points. So you're draining yourself by casting high level spells. Like I said, you can keep casting, you cast infinitely all you want. So you might think, oh, well, that's just going to make all the party feel like they need to constantly heal the blood mage. But no, the blood mage is probably chaotic. The blood mage is probably like not a normal person is going to play a blood mage. Someone who plays a blood mage is going to be someone who's a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more willing to put their life on the line. And if they're constantly going down in your party because they're constantly exerting themselves, don't heal them. Don't heal them in the middle of battle. Don't use magical healing to heal them. Just do a medicine check or something. Give them 1 HP. Don't let them cast on their spell, because if they cannot cast a spell, they don't have enough health for it, then they will not be able to cast spells. They're just going to be stuck to using other things. But some of the cool things, some of the cool ideas of spells that I thought of is like blood claws, like Wolverine, right? Like blood shoots out and hardens out of your hand, and you get to use that to knock people down. Blood missiles, it's like magic missile but blood, and shoots out of you. There's also another unique feature for blood mages that I created where you can attune yourself to other creatures once you like get a taste of their blood. Like Hidan, excuse me, Hidan from Naruto. If you've ever seen Naruto, he uses like this big giant scythe, and he cuts you, and he licks the scythe after he cuts you with it, and then once that gets in, he like starts the ceremony, and it's like a voodoo doll where he can damage himself, and it's going to damage you. Well, because that's blood related, I wrote it into my story. I wrote it into my blood mage where, like, if you get someone else's blood, another creature's blood, you can spend what I call blood points, similar to sorcery points. You can spend a blood point attuning yourself to that creature. Well, now, as an action on like a different turn, you can then cast a spell from their body. Like, you can sense their blood in their body. You can cast a spell from their body. You still have to pay the initial cost out of your own body, but then like that other creature is now like, you could do like a melee blood spell attack against their ally who's next to them, or you can pull like a blood missile out of them and hit another person. And so eventually you can attune yourself to multiple creatures on the battlefield, and you can kind of play as this like risky role where you can either be doing heavy damage, melee damage, you can harden your skin to increase your AC, you can cast spells like crazy, you can be like doing chip damage to a lot of people on the battlefield. There's a lot of ways you can go. There's a couple of different like schools that I had thought up of, like vampirism and schools, stuff like that. That would be more like healing yourself off of other people's blood to get that special temporary hit points. The one, like I said, where you alter yourself, use blood to alter yourself, or like blood rushes to your skin and hardens, like Gaara's like sand shield from Naruto, but it's blood shield. Things like that. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I think it's a pretty cool concept. It's not fully fleshed out, but if you think this is stupid and totally broken, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna link down in the description. I'll link my Google Docs sheet, and you can tell me if you think it's stupid. You can tell me if you think it's cool. If anyone wants to like keep working on it, like make a copy and mess with it. It's kind of like a nice framework to begin with. It's been a little bit tested, so we have actually played up to I think 15th level. So like 5th spell cost level. The spell variety is different because you can't really use normal spells. So I kind of had to create all new spells for the Blood Mage. They have their own spell list. So it doesn't integrate super well into like 5th edition spellcasters. And a lot of the spells you'll notice are they're just the same spell from, whatever, like some spell from 5th edition. I just kind of took it and like Cure Wounds, but the blood magic version. Or Magic Missile, but the blood magic version, or Guiding Bolt or whatever, the blood magic version. Some of them are totally unique. Some of them are brand new, totally unique. I'd like to eventually design all of them to be totally unique. And honestly, I'd even like to rewrite the class in some ways to be a little bit more balanced. But if anyone wants to help me do that, that'd be awesome. I would love help. I would love your inputs. I'd love your thoughts. If you think it's cool, if you think it's dumb, I'd love to hear it in the comments. You're not gonna hurt my feelings because, I mean, I don't work for D&D. I don't work for Wizards of the Coast. I don't make D&D content normally. This is probably the first D&D video I've ever made, other than a short that I made for TikTok about like session prepping. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm just interested to see who's interested, if anyone thinks it's cool, if anyone thinks it's dumb. And that's it. I just wanted to make a quick little video about that, since I was thinking about D&D a lot recently. And I haven't run this class in like 4 years, 5 years. Anyway, that's it. Thanks. Bye. You're still here? If you're still here, then great job. You stayed. You stayed until the end. Here's Akamaru, my dog, again. Here he is, if you want to see him. He's a cute guy. He's just hanging out with me right now. And we're just sitting here. Yeah, let's go ahead and end it, though. See ya.